Ginger. That's what you need. A mouthful of the good stuff and you'll see the back of any seasickness.
Oh, thank you for your support, John. Don't suppose you actually brought any ginger?
No, I don't get seasick.
Terrific.
Don't worry, Sherry. We've almost arrived at Cordona. I can see land through the porthole.
So much for docking by tea time. The captain seemed more interested in his maids than in his maps.
Oh, is Sherlock grumpy? Cheer up. We're back where we grew up. It's exciting. What's changed? What's the same?
Ugh. I'm starting to question whether the weeks-long journey was worth it. Travelling all this way, enduring this indignity simply to visit a grave. Even if it is my mother's.
Ah, that's just Mycroft's nonsense, still rattling around in your head. Try to forget what he said. I have.
I believe it was that this is a performative farce, a feeble excuse to avoid responsibilities, and that there was nothing to be gained from it.
You needed to do this. Enough of the self-pity and doubt. So we're a little late. What of it? We'll retire to the hotel and visit her in the morning. It'll be worth it.
Thank you, John.
And if you want to notify the captain's wife of his indiscretions, I will not stand in your way.
Ah, at last. I'm quite ready to get off this cursed boat.
Come on. We'll go together. Hey, Sherry. Come on, catch up.
Yes, yes.
Sherlock, don't get lost in this huge garden. Follow the sound of my voice.
Welcome to Il Palazzo di Lusso, sir.
Welcome to Il Palazzo di Lusso, sir. We just need your signature. Would you kindly sign these papers, sir? Would you kindly sign these papers, sir?
There you are.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Yes, we have room 221 prepared for you. I see it was reserved for 2 people. Would you like a second key?
Oh, no, I think we'll stick together.
Very good. Rooms are upstairs, sir. Welcome to Cordona.
Hurry up, Sherlock. I want to see our room. I hope there's a balcony with a view.
Perhaps, in the meantime, you would like to relax in the foyer? Tonight, the restaurant is offering a complimentary marlin ceviche to all our guests.
Let's check what they have on offer. Hey, Sherry. Just our luck.
A medium, John. Haven't we been through this already?
Come on, it's not like we've got anything better to do.
Excuse me, sir, but I believe Mr. Galich is conducting a séance at the moment. Perhaps you'd care to have your portrait drawn while you wait?
Why?
Pardon me?
Why should I sit for a portrait?
Sir, it's art. It doesn't need a why. It is its own justification.
All things require justification, be they objects, systems, or beliefs.
How about art as the lens through which we see the truth of the world?
That's backward. Truth is not subjective and not complicated. It's just the truth. It either is or it isn't. You do not need a lens to see it, just an open mind.
Ha! That seems rather close-minded. Truth, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. So tell me, what do you see?
Mediocrity.
That was too much fun, Sherry. I'm buzzing. Buzzing. Wasn't it fun?
A woman died, John. I was too slow to the truth, too hesitant to intervene. How can you...
Oh, lighten up. Those people made their choices. If you swan about with a diamond in your pocket, that's what happens. Wealth is a weakness.
So we must blame those who covet it.
With enough money on the line, Sherlock, a man will do just about anything, even murder. And then we get to solve it.
I suspect you perhaps cannot grasp the true horrors of mortality, John.
Oi, I am aware of my perilous existence, thank you very much.
I must admit, even if the outcome of the adventure was imperfect, there was some pleasure to be had in the puzzle.
Well, Cordona seems more depraved and decadent than we thought. I bet you'll get another chance.
A bet, you say?
Ah, figure of speech. Just a figure of speech.
Damn. Well, take one last look at the view, then we must be off. It's time to do what we came here for.
Come on, Sherry. Why walk when we can ride?
A free ride for every hotel visitor. Just tell me where to go.
Is everything all right? If you don't feel up to it, I won't tell anyone.
It's just a good... Won't be difficult. I've already come to terms with my mother's passing.
So you really don't remember?
To what do you refer?
The funeral. Sherlock, you were distraught. At first, I thought this visit would dredge up those feelings, but you've been remarkably level.
John, I think I was too young to understand. I couldn't fathom why she would leave me.
Perhaps that pain is best left forgotten.
On the contrary, it's why I'm visiting her grave. To remember her.
I thought you wanted to remember, Sherry. Concentrate, and I'm sure it will come back to you.
Mycroft was adamant that we leave for London immediately after the funeral. He never told me why, but I saw how unsettled he was by the long requiem.
I thought you wanted to remember, Sherry. Concentrate, and I'm sure it will come back to you.
The service was sparsely attended. Though my parents were buried separately, the pastor said they're united in heaven. I didn't believe him even then. I wanted to see her one last time before the coffin was interred and say how I loved her. The chance never came. I feel rather faint.
You're fine, you're fine. It's over now. You remembered everything. It will get easier soon.
A pocket watch? It seems familiar, John. Why is it here? Rest in peace, Violet Holmes. Goodbye, Mother. This watch was a gift. My mother's initials are engraved on it. The piece is in good condition. It must have been placed here only recently. A candle in a small puddle of wax. It cannot have been lit for more than half an hour.
Is this really how you want to spend this time?
This is my mother's pocket watch, John. Who put it here and why? Are you not in the slightest bit interested?
This is excessive, Sherlock. Can you not let the mystery be?
A man in fashionable shoes stood near the tomb. The size of the prints suggests he is approximately 5.5 feet tall.
You were about to tell me the make and model of tyre, but let me assure you, I do not care.
Well, it was going to be very impressive. Come on then, the trail continues ahead.
He mustn't be far away to leave it unattended.
It's stained with oil paint. A portable easel was kept there. I hope that inspiration strikes upon visiting these beautiful vaults. At the very least, you'll enjoy the view. Yours, Mercurio. I hope that inspiration strikes upon visiting these beautiful vaults. The Hospitaller Crypts. If memory serves, they're located at the far end of the cemetery around an old tree.
An artist working in a cemetery? Do you think he'd paint my portrait?
Oh, it's that ridiculous artist from the hotel.
Be nice, Sherry.
Mr.
Make
Holmes,
friends.
did you come for another portrait? No, I jest. You gave quite the performance last night. The hotel was abuzz with your name. must say I was rather absorbed in it all. The fallibility of men. Such scandal.
It was a welcome distraction.
Oh, my manners. I am Werner Vogel, art enthusiast and gallery proprietor.
Mr. Vogel, I was perhaps too curt when last we spoke.
Speak no more of it. Travel takes it out of any man, never mind when this is your destination. Once I learned who you were, the pieces fell into place. Your mother was well liked on Codona in her time here. I was sorry to hear of her passing.
How did you come to possess my mother's pocket watch?
Oh my! It is quite something to witness those powers of deduction firsthand. Yes, I left you her timepiece. After her death, there was an estate sale. All of Cordona's elite picking of her remains. I couldn't let such a lovely thing go to those vultures. When I learned your name, I could no longer keep the watch in good conscience. It is yours by right, and I knew you'd find it here.
Thank you. I'd forgotten all about it, but the moment I saw it, I knew it was hers. Amazing what the young mind forgets and the older can recall. Rather odd, loitering in a cemetery.
I suspect you'll win, but I'm here for my art. There's beauty everywhere if you look, even in decay. A little darkness brings out the light. Now, a diligent observer might note that you too are loitering in a cemetery. What brings you here? Closure answers penance?
Closure, I suppose.
And what is closure? Mere proximity?
Understanding. Acceptance.
You didn't understand from afar. You had to come here to accept the truth of her death?
Of course I understand. She died of consumption, drowning in her own blood.
Your mother?
Yes, my mother.
I must have been misinformed. I'd heard otherwise.
Otherwise than consumption?
No, you'd know better than I. I'd heard talk of a police investigation, but Cordona is a notorious gossip. And what does it matter? She's passed on either way.
She has.
Well, I shall intrude no longer. I'll leave you to your closure. Do stop by the gallery if your travels permit. Farewell.
Are you all right, Sherry? Take as long as you need.
Whatever I need, it isn't here. We should explore Cordona. Perhaps there are archives that may shed further light.
Stark do this, Stark do that. I'm not a clerk, damn it. How am I supposed to get those records now? Yes? What is it? Would you like to report a crime?
No, I wouldn't. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I want to use the police archive.
We all.
I'm serious.
So am I. Officer Logan locked himself inside and he's not letting anyone in.
But why the archives? Won't that stall everyone's work?
You bet it will. He's looking up all the thieves in Cordona over the past decade. Say one thing for Logan. He's persistent.
What happened exactly?
A tailoress from Scaladio's been robbed. Logan spent 2 whole days at the shop sketching the thief, and she still insists that it's all wrong. That shrew drove him up the wall, she did.
Would you mind if I talk to this tailoress? I could get you the sketch in no time.
Get off your high horse, mister. You think you're better than our sketch artist?
Actually, I'm quite certain I am. Let me prove it.
Well, I see no harm in it, as long as it gets Logan out of there. In fact, I need to look up some records too. Here's the address. Good luck.
What's up?
Hello again, officer. I've spoken to the tailoress and made a sketch of the thief. It was child's play.
No, really? And she didn't give you any trouble?
No trouble at all. She was quite tolerable.
Who would have thought? Hey, Logan, we've got the sketch. Come on out.
Can I use the archives now?
Well, they're generally not accessible to the public, but you really helped us out, so I'll just turn a blind eye.
I appreciate it, officer.
What did you say your name was? Holmes? Come and see me after you're done. I may have a proposition for you, Mr. Holmes.
May I ask you something?
I usually have an answer for everything, but not for this.
John, I just recalled that we were living here on Cordona in a manor. And there was a policeman.
Really? What else do you remember? What happened to our mother?
The memory was vague, a mere flash. I have to find our house.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Hey, Sherry, there's post here.
After
Seems
reading
as if
that,
the
I
letter
am
was
even
delivered
less
recently.
eager to return home than before. Let's investigate our manor.
That's the Mycroft I know.
There she is. Our old manor. It's smaller than I remember.
You were a couple of feet shorter back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. You can afford another night or two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped our room yet.
Come on. Must be locked.
Move aside. Let me have a go. Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier, perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Take a look around, Sherlock. I'm sure you'll discover something.
I did not expect these to still be here. It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief. And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, oh, very precious. Funny, Wooden Joe reminds me of the trouble we once got in with the police. Do you remember, John?
Somewhat. Maybe we can recall more details.
The policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was? I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky. It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges. The officer left and never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. It felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
Oh, yes. Yes, now I remember. It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft asked us to. He wasn't angry we stole, but that we got caught.
Oh, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months after we moved to Cordona. Ugh, the good old days. Whoa.
How very odd. It appears that memory stood between me and the manor. It's as if my mind palace had seeped into the real world. This deserves further investigation. Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha! In we go.
Home sweet home, Sherry. I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a... Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it? Something did happen that day, but no one can tell us the details. How can that be?
Agreed. It's rather suspicious.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like déjà vu. I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks. He called it a frivolous, childish endeavour. I think our family portrait used to hang here. Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe.
Another memory incoming, Sherry.
Strange, I struggle to recall anything about the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning. There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft. Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single thing in London. Mycroft had to spend the whole day dealing with it. This trip was a challenge for our mother. I tried to help her.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move closer to the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs, go to your room.
Lean on me, Mother. Take your time.
Actually, I never heard her coughing. I remember now.
Oh, I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
Look at this. It's like travelling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying. Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind. Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind. Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets.
Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes. We visited him several times while living here.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
Cannot believe all my toys are still here.
Hey, they were not just yours, they were half mine too.
An artifact from Palau carved out of bone and claimed to be 300 years old. My mother proved it was a fake. My very favourite plaything. It was the perfect pirate treasure. The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place.
The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me. So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana. Interesting. What's that over there? This doorknob has a cross-shaped end. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets.
A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky. I've definitely found a better use for it.
You mean for spying on people?
Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
Perfect match. My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again. Made of cherry wood, Father's favourite. Made of cherry wood. Still has a faint odour of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home.
I knew you'd find it in no time.
My mother always wore this around her neck until one day it disappeared. I was wondering where it went. She said it was a birthday present from a good friend. I just had another glimpse of a memory, John. It's fuzzy, but I'm sure it happened somewhere in the manor.
Moving forward. Shall we go? Garden's much prettier, don't you think? I bet the memories are all flooding back now. You know, I envy you, Sherry. You can talk to other people and they won't ignore you.
And I envy you. You can ignore any person you're bored with. You don't miss out on much. Most men are dull, unlike yourself.
Well, I'm flattered.
This portrait was painted some time before my father's death. I would guess it's the only depiction of him that remains. Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind. I had a surprise for my mother. I was holding an ancient Greek vase, or... You had a shovel with you, John. I remember now. We dug up the vase from Greek ruins here on Cordona and were eager to show my mother right away. For some reason, the door was another one. There must be something
But nobody
important
answered.
behind it. I can feel
We
it.
thought that she was busy.
So we left the vase and ran downstairs. I decided to gather some archaeological tools in order to take a closer look at the vase.
But then we heard something, didn't we?
Yes, it came from upstairs.
The vase was broken, shards scattered all over the floor. And your mother was standing at the door.
Indeed, John. I doubt it was her. Let me concentrate. Otto Richter was standing there, furious at us. Dr. Richter told us never to disturb my mother when the door is closed. He said she had broken the vase.
But we didn't believe him. I bet he smashed it. Her things are still here.
Presumably Mycroft never felt the need to sort through it all.
Or couldn't bring himself to.
No. He would have put it behind him and moved on. My brother is not one for sentimentality.
Look what I found. The White King is under attack. Sherry, can you save him and checkmate the opponent in one move? You're not obliged to be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want.
No labels. I doubt it ever had one. No labels. I doubt it ever had one. There appear to be residues of the bottle's contents at the bottom.
Do you think the doctor could have used these tools here? I hope not.
It's a strange feeling to read about my father's death in the newspaper. I can't recall anything. Except the deep feeling of loss.
You were too young. It happened before we even met. It's so sad.
Looks like it was damaged by a
sorry.
blunt object. This room always reeked with an acrid medicinal stench. And here is the reason. This picture was drawn by my mother. I recognize her hand. There's a date on it, 8th of December, 1868. This seems a bit odd. I can recognize my mother's style, but it's far too sloppy. Dated 12th of February, 1869. It's difficult to tell what this is meant to represent. There's no date at all. Straps on the bed. Just doesn't look right. Seems this was the most frequently used medication. 1 dram dissolved in a glass of water, administered daily, not to exceed 1 dose in 24 hours, not to be given to children. Oh, it brings back some memories.
Oh, I would love to take a bath right now.
Not this one. Surface corrosion suggests it was prone to extreme temperature fluctuations. For medical purposes, I suppose.
You're not obliged to be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want. nice move. You saved the king and checkmated the black king with the rook.
The broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to calm her down. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died. My mother, she was not just ill, but had. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
It cannot wait. Let us find another door and finally learn the truth.
That's pointless, Sherry. To date, you have had no control over the return of these memories. It is all triggered by your work elsewhere on Cordona. You must accept that this will have to wait. Are you all right?
In the end, little has changed. My mother was still unwell, just not with tuberculosis. What I do not yet understand is why Mycroft lied about it. There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes. Metallic souls. What is this sailor doing here? My mother loved flowers. They made her smile. I remember we would bring a new bouquet every week to make her a bit happier.
That's why we collected all the violet flowers we could find on the island.